Well, hello, it's Pastor Center, the Blue Collar Preacher. Just want to show you how we hung these barn doors. Now, these are not your typical barn doors. We have a cement wall. This is in a basement and really old house, so the bearing wall was made out of cement. Anyways, we have our rim joists up here a little bit up above the wall where they tag their board joists to, but we couldn't just lag our bolts into concrete. That's a nightmare, so I did it a different method, and we're going to show you how we did that. Now, because our barn doors are going up against a cement wall that we cut out, you can't get bolts unless you want to get silly lags. We just put T-nuts on the back side and we'll bolt it through and just use 2 inch by 1/4, so it'll just go up against the block there. We'll nail into that, nail into all that up against the floor there. That's the best we can do. So anyways, that's how we're doing our barn door. In this little house. Every 16 inches, just like if it was a stud wall. Started at 2 inches on the ends because of what I have. I'll split the difference. Stick it on my rail, arrow up, now we just rattle can this piece of rail with some black, flat black paint instead of a gloss. So, one side. We just stuck our bolts in a piece of foam, rattle can the tops. Now we're going to insert our T-nuts in the bottom side. I always tell my wife to save this old nasty wood till the very end. Now these T-nuts are a little bigger than the bolts, so I'm just going to remove out a little bit on the back. It's okay. to pound our T-nuts in there. You see we got our T-nuts in, got a little mess. We'll clean that up and add a little more stain, but now we can just screw them right in there. These are 2-inch, or by the time we add our rail and our spacer and another washer, it'll come out flush to the back side of the T-nut here. So just make sure you don't get too long bolts. You might have to cut them with your grinder or whatever, but just make sure you. Now here's the door bumpers. They're made for the cheesy flimsy 1-inch rail, while we're using an 1.5 inch. You can see I had to notch the ends there so I can stick this on there. That's so for a door stop, and we just kind of centered it so it looks like it's all part of the system here. Okay, we got our bumpers installed on each end first. It's easier to do it now. Don't scratch up your finished wood. We're putting spacers behind them so it gives us a little more clearance. Just rattle can some black washers. I mean some washers with some rattle can black. Okay, there it is. See how they're flush, T-nuts. So now when I put it up against the wall, it's flat. Okay, because of clearance reasons on our barn doors that we're installing, we have 7-foot ceilings in here. So I have to, we're using low profile trolleys here. And I had to move these up a little farther because we're using 1.5 inch rails versus the 1-inch flimsy stuff they provide. Already got one. Now I just pop the screws and move my tape. But this side, I'm only going to do the bottom lower one in case I have to do this to adjust the doors. So when we shut the doors, they align better. Sometimes you got to tweak them a little bit. Get that gap. So that gap, they come together nice and tight. Anyways, it's kind of guiding a little bit. But so yeah, I leave these two out. Just put that one in so I can tweak it a little bit. To make sure these gaps align good. So I do that with both sides. The end ones, I put all the screws in on the end ones, and then the middle, I mean the fronts, I just do the bottom middle one. That way, like I said, I can twist it this way or that way until the doors shut tight. You know, you want them to shut tight all the way up and down. So that's how I install my barn doors. Now, this is a concrete wall. We didn't want to drill lag holes, so I put T-nuts behind the concrete section. We just used the lags in the header. Wherever the concrete wall, this is shot up into the seal plate where the floor joists are, and we just T-nutted that.